Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. Well, that big day is finally here. Tomorrow, we choose a president here in the United States. And I know many countries around the world are also interested in this. And this past week, I have watched several very interesting videos which show that Donald Trump's number in Bible prophecy could very well be 777, and that is very significant. And here is how they derived that very interesting numerology. If he is elected tomorrow, the first day of his presidency will be January the 21st. He takes his oath of office on the 20th. And how old will he be? He will be 70 years plus 7 months plus 7 days old. Very interesting and significant numerology. So let me show you how that is derived. He was born on June the 14th, 1946. And when you add 70 years to his birth date, you come up with June 14th, 2016. And when you add 7 months, you come up with January 14th, 2017, plus 7 days gives you January the 21st, 2017. Now, he is inaugurated on the 20th, but his first full day in office would be the 21st. Very significant. And I'll put some links to the videos below because they explain this maybe a little bit better than I just did. Now, the question is 77 a good number or an evil number? Well, we know the number 7 is primarily a good number. It refers to Almighty God. Back in the book of Genesis, God used 7 days to create the universe. I should say 6 days. And on the 7th day, he rested. That is his number. But 7 can also be an evil number. That's because there are 7 deadly sins. But really much more significant for these end times, the number 777 specifically refers to the Scarlet Beast in the book of Revelation. So let me read that passage for you. Chapter 17 of the book of Revelation, verse number 9. And here is the understanding that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, upon which the woman sits, and they are 7 kings. This would be the Scarlet Beast. This is the beast which burns the whore of Babylon with fire in 1 hour. The whore of Babylon is primarily the United States. The Scarlet Beast represents all the nations of the world which will support communism in the end times. And remember, the 8th and final beast morphs out of the 7th beast. And I got a very interesting email this morning from Fire11 Hagil. I think he pronounces his user handle on YouTube. Hillary Clinton is the representation of the great harlot of Babylon. Well, that could be. That's interesting. Donald Trump is the representation of the beast who is carrying this harlot. In other words, the Scarlet Beast. This is international. These shall hate the harlot, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and shall burn her with fire. Thank you very much, Fire. I agree with you. But I also want to add another very interesting numerology, which I personally have discovered. If Donald Trump wins, that will prove that his number is 777 in Bible prophecy. I'm not sure how that means that he would defeat the whore of Babylon, but I think it's possible. Remember, neither the Scarlet Beast nor the whore of Babylon are good in Almighty God's sight. They are both in a spiritual wasteland. And I was thinking, what would be my birthday as far as Bible prophecy goes? So just on the lark, I decided to look at my birthday, which is April 2nd, 1939. And if you add 77 years to that, just as we added 70 for Donald Trump's birthday, you come up with April 2nd, 2016. And when you add 7 months to that date, just as we did with Donald Trump, you come up with November 2nd, 2016, just a few days ago. And when you add 7 days to that, you come up with November 9th, 2016, the day after Election Day. I think that is extremely significant. So here is my challenge to all you prophets on YouTube, especially those who did videos on Trump being 777. If that numerology works for Donald Trump and he is elected, then that same biblical numerology, that same formula would work for the third eagle, for yours truly. And that proves that I am 7777 in Bible prophecy. And there are many cases of 4 sevens and 7 fours as far as that goes in the Bible. Both 7 and 4 are very significant end times numbers. That would mean that I have a very important mission beginning the day after the election. Now, 4 times 7 equals 28. 4 sevens, in other words. Another very significant end times prophecy. And I want to leave you with one small note. Take a look at that birth date of mine, 4/2/1939, and when you add those integers, 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 3 plus 9, you come up with 28. Another verification that yours truly is indeed number 7777 in Bible prophecy. And if you would like more information about my mission here on YouTube, visit my thirdEagleMedia.com website.